Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Ajuna Sharawat, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with industry leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulae for many. And this is what we trust. These sessions are a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge sharing community. We have one such stalwart on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Amit Tomar. With his over 15 years of experience as a proficient chartered accountant and other professional qualifications, which is company secretary and cost accountant, Amit has been adding value to the auditing field and helping firms in the past and existing organizations to improve the business processes, increase profitability, improve quality along with remaining compliant. Along with Amit's core expertise in accounting and auditing, Amit also always widened his purview by managing the organization's other entity in Asia Pacific region through integration with company's core policies and procedure, staffing and administration of teams. With Amit's current position, which is the Head of Internal Audits Asia Pacific at MAHLE GmbH, Amit has extended his support as a trainer for skill transformation and knowledge development of core team members and other employees in Asia region to make them compliant with company standard operating procedures. Welcome, Amit, to FaceTime with Leaders. It's such an honor to have you here.
Thank you so much, Ajuna, and thanks for such a good introduction of myself, and thanks for this time to have this discussion.
It's an honor, and we would like to start this section, this interview, with knowing about your current responsibility and your current company.
Definitely, Ajuna. So, as you correctly mentioned, I am a part of a MAHLE GmbH right now. And to give a quick idea about a MAHLE GmbH, so MAHLE GmbH is now 102 years old company, and basically into the auto ancillary part manufacturing. We are having a good amount of presence globally. And in my current role with MAHLE GmbH, I basically responsible for internal audit assignments for Asia region, and I have a team in China, Japan, and India. With the help of my team, I basically conduct all the audit engagements and assignment for all the MAHLE entities wherever we do as per the audit calendar. That is what the core responsibility I do that, and we present our value addition related aspects to the management, and management take the serious action accordingly, and we create the value for the organization. That is what the primary responsibility I perform with MAHLE with the help of my team members. Apart from that, in my current role, I have to take care of all the compliance issue, being a part of a core member of a compliance team for MAHLE Asia region, where we deal with all the compliance, be it local compliances, be it something like statutory compliances for the entity level. That is what being dealt with the help of the compliance committee. And I am a very core team member of that to deal with this. Also very interesting topic to take care of all the fraud and investigation aspects. That is what been we initially do the assessment. If something is there within the group, that we take care, and if we need any subject matter expert, we conduct that. So that is also one of the activity where we corporate audit, we call as a corporate audit in MAHLE. With the help of a corporate legal team, global team, we do that fraud investigation and submit our reports to the management. So that is what the core responsibility with me, like internal audit and compliance and fraud investigation. Apart from that, in my current role, wherever we have the new acquisition of a business, like in MAHLE, now we are moving towards electric vehicle segment. Everyone into the auto ancillary now wanted to have their setup and expansion into the EV ancillary part manufacturing. So in that line, we are developing organically also, and as well as we are acquiring some of the new startups and the new businesses. In that thing, being a part of a corporate audit, I need to take care of integration activity where we perform a due diligence of those activity, those entity. And based on our due diligence, be it a strategic due diligence or a finance due diligence, that report we provide to the management to take a further decision and whether to go ahead or not with that business. So that is what the activities where I'm actively participating within the MAHLE, and I'm enjoying my time here and to dealing with the different leadership from different segment within MAHLE and learning from them as well. It is like a very good opportunity, and day by day we have new challenges, new exposures. So it's just giving us somehow a roller coaster situation to have there and something like that. But very much I'm enjoying this current role with MAHLE now.
Wonderful. So did you always have a knack for what you were doing, or did you develop it over time?
Yeah, so definitely I could say that I had a knack, or I would rather put it like somewhere it's like an inherent ability which I had, and I could say how that I could say on that it is like I had a knack when I started my professional journey. I would like to take you 15, 16 years back when I started my CA training. During those days, it was very clear in my mind that I have to go in something which could excite me. And being doing a chartered accountancy at that time, internal audit was the field where I wanted to be a part of, because internal audit is not somehow what I feel is a monotonous job. So I wanted to be in the internal audit. And when I started my articleship as a part of a 3-year training as a curriculum of chartered accountancy, during those days, I started doing something which called as an internal audit, and that's what I started performing good since those days. And over the period of time when I started my career with the good big four accounting firm in India into their internal audit profile. So I develop good things like thought process is something like I could call as an inherent ability what I had, and I could call as a knack in myself. But over the period, I learned how to do the probing, because probing is something like very crucial skill which you have to develop if you need to perform an internal audit. And that I learn, and excel in that over the period when I had working experience within with different big four. And I could correlate with my diversified work experience with different industry, this different geographical location, which helped me to work on my probing skill set. And that's what it all made me the, I would say, very competent and very have a good command over performing this internal audit activity for any of the industry or entity. And right now also I'm delivering based on that. Yeah, so to summarize for your question, yes, it started with the inherent ability for what I'm doing, but also over the period I learn as and when I grow with my career from the Big Four experience.
You have been honored for your excellent work and have earned a lot of awards. can you state how you came about earning the most coveted Ernst and Young Performance Accelerator Award?
Yes, Arjuna. So to the topic for like getting the award or recognition, I would like to start with the principles which I am following my career, which uh, took me and taking me in current role also as a correctly recognition by my leaders and getting this award. So I have a very clear principle like with the help of internal audit, I have to create a value for the client or to the entity where I am. Because whenever we do the business process review, I need to have that drive and that what I say eagerness to know about the weaknesses in their process, and I would like to create the value into the process. Yeah, and that I had continues to do that when I was with EY, and it required luck from my supervisors also that they timely notice my effort and they recognize. So for EY Accelerator Award or many such recognition which I had in my EY and other Big Four days and even into the current role, this all recognition was possible because of the having the consistency in my approach by creating the value into the internal audit, and as well as to fortunate that this has been properly noticed by my supervisors that made me to create this or to get this award. So I would like to quote that this accelerator and other few good awards also I got during Big Four, and also to quote few good recognition. So start with I had appreciation from clients also. Like I did very good amount of contribution for Reliance Industries Limited. So I had a appreciation email from Chairman Dex of Reliance Industries Limited for my value contribution for their Jamnagar refinery plant. And the same I did for Tata Steel Jamshedpur assignment. So these are few good examples where I did uh, continues with my normal course of activity and I deliver and it get recognized, and journey is still going on to get this all rewards and recognition.
And Amit, when did you develop liking for environmental and social aspects?
Yes, Arjuna. So, environment and social aspects is basically something like it came to me, or when I came upon such engagement when I was with the consulting firm. This started with initially with the environmental aspect because if I'm not wrong, since last now over a decade or almost a decade, companies in India now started to think upon the environmental deficit related challenges, right? Because this is impacting the India businesses, company businesses also. So now most of the promoters and most of the company management now started to think about to deal with that. We have the issues like climate changes, we have the issue with the global warming, we have the other aspects from the environmental deficit, and that's called as a point of a trigger where companies started to think, and I had an exposure while dealing with this company. Along with that, we have some specific requirement from Companies Act 2013, where company has to take care of the CSR activity. And as a part of their CSR activity, where they need to mandatory take care, they normally come to the Big Four to take the advice, like what they should do, deal with, what should they basically have to deliver as a part of a contribution for to reduce the environment deficit. So that's what the point came in my career, where I had that exposure for to think about or to provide the consultancy or the solution to the companies where they could deal with this environment and create a balance. And many companies like from power industries, they have another challenge like to get the carbon credit and other issues, how to deal with the compliance of the pollution control board in India from the different PCPs. So I had such an assignment in the consulting. Now with MAHLE also, I am dealing with the different pollution control aspect for all other entities in Asia region. That is what I started working on that. Majorly to add my contribution in on to understand what are the environmental deficit which companies basically facing, and what we could do for the betterment of that. How do we contribute in that? So that is what basically for the environmental aspects related work I did and I'm continuously doing. Apart from environment, another big area that's called social aspects. Yeah, for a company, even awareness should be needed to be have within the all the companies in India, because normally we are the listed where we have listed company, they may have understand the social aspects and social deficit, but many companies still need to work on that, and that call as a social criteria. So social criteria defines your all social environment, which includes all your employees, your customers, your vendors, your competitors, also your industry colleagues, everything. So that is what you call as a social criteria. When I started to deal with such challenges with the client in the past and now within MAHLE, I started to work on formulating the policy and procedure, how to deal with this, all these aspects, I would say the criteria for social angle. And by that way, again, the approach is the same, like to assess first the entity or to assess where we are in terms of the social criteria and what the challenges we are facing and how we are dealing with the vendors, customers. This is all to be taken into the consideration. And based on that, I help many companies, and MAHLE, we are working still on developing many policy procedure to deal with the social criteria within the group. So that is what the challenges or aspects when I come across when consulting this and nowadays within MAHLE. Yeah.
And how much technological dependent is your field?
Ajuna, I would say this is very good question, and this is something like every internal audit professional is nowadays facing, or I would say every internal audit team, not only in India, globally, they are working on this aspect. And nowadays, I would say internal audit, this field entirely under transition, and I would say now we have far ahead from what we were doing as a traditional internal audit, where we were going on a field and to review the documents or the data, and then we come with some exception and the value addition. Since few years, this approach is completely changed, and now we call it as a technology-enabled internal audit. Rather, the synonym for it is like continuous auditing and continuous monitoring. That is very commonly referred to as a CACM. So that is what a new approach into the internal audit field, and this is what where we are now technical dependent, I would say, or rather we are taking the help of this all technology to deal with the internal audit assignment. How we are using is like that we do the data analysis with the help of technology. Like I would like to give the example of my current company organization. We have a team of a data analysis where we have some few technology expert who develop the scripting based on the logics provided by the subject matter expert. And the logics is to identify the exceptions or deviation within the existing process, like for procurement or something like that. And we use SQL, Python as a basis to develop this scripts. And we apply that onto the ERP, like wherever we have the different ERP for SAP or Oracle, we apply that, and we get the exception on a real-time basis when we do that execution of the scripts onto the ERP packages. And these real-time exception are very helpful for all level of management to deal with, because it gives an opportunity to correct gaps or the lacuna into the process on immediate basis, and it helps entity to prevent them from further repercussion into the business processes, be it financial loss, any reputational loss, any type of losses are there. So that's why technology is helping us to get the very real-time exceptions based on the scripting what we are applying, and it gives the base for the core internal auditor to think or to apply the brainstorming what more deep dive or what probing and how detailing we could do based on the initial outcome what we get from the technology. I would say next 4 or 5 years or in future, this internal audit is field is completely dependent on the technology, and that's why my focus is on not for myself, even for my team. We are learning this all technology also. Learning level is dependent based on your roles. Like for my role, I should have the understanding that what is being developed is correctly been properly been developed or not, and it is to be correctly apply for the ERP packages. So that is what I am learning from SQL and Python point of view. And same, I am giving this training and everything to my team members so that we could have that learn it, and we should know that technology. And that is what we are going towards the involvement of technology into my current role.
And what changes do you see ahead with upcoming technology trends like IoT, ML, AI?
Yeah, so rather I would say internal audit would have a more AI approach. We will be having artificial intelligence. So we still like chat GPT is everywhere nowadays, and this chat GPT, what we have from OpenAI, it's also same kind of things will be helpful for the internal auditor to get the initial input, which could be get apply for doing the brainstorming and to take care of internal audit. So over a period of time in future, definitely there would be a changes in terms of performing the audit, and AI would be like very big turning point, or will be having very value addition into this internal audit profession. And people after 4 or 5 years will not imagine internal audit without AI.
And now I would like to ask you, since you are now a corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
Yeah, so being a corporate governance expert, I would rather say from the value point of view, all corporate governance expert has to deal with their basic principles. And corporate governance is basically depend on the principles which are accountability, fairness, transparency, then responsibility, and the risk management. These all pillars has to be demonstrated somewhere to the company with the help of their existing internal control. And when the question comes for the internal control, it talks about how your policy procedure and standard operating procedures been defined to take care of all these elements, and which may strengthen your internal control within the company as well as your external environment. So as a corporate governance expert in current role also, and I would say that I am bringing to the table or to the bringing to the my current organization these 4 5 pillars with the help of regular monitoring the procedures policy, and to take care of that, which on the broader level helping the interest of my management, also the interest and safeguarding the all their sake of the investors within the group. That is what we wanted to take care. I would like to mention here what I did as a part of corporate governance in my Big Four days, where I did a very good job to take care of the compliance to the Clause 49 listing agreement. This is mainly for the corporate governance aspect, and all the listing companies wanted to take care of this all corporate governance, where we do the due diligence to consider where the companies actually stand, and whether it has been transparency is there to the investor or not, and all the risk management approach with the help of a very good internal control within the company being taken care or not. So I had that very good exposure. So this all my experience and understanding on this all pillars will creating a good value over the table for the company being a corporate governance expert.
At this point, we would like to know what your success mantra has been.
Yeah, so success mantra, like for last I'm working now, it's my 16 years of careers, and like 15 16 years over the period of time. from professional point of view, I would like to quote at one statement by Michael Piazza, who is a very renowned person in internal audit field. He said that identifying a finding for a company, it can come very easily, but the changes to the company through that finding is a true internal audit. So that is what the core quote which I am following in my career to deliver a good value with the help of internal audit. That is what I could say every internal auditor professional should follow, and that gives a value to the management and all the new people or who are started their career into the internal audit can have this approach rather just to give any problem solving statement. So that is been I considered as a success mantra in my professional career. Also, another thing which is very important, which I'm rigorously following over the period of my career and in my personal life and everywhere is like, so whatever you wish, you should focus on that thing. So that is what the other aspect I am following. Like I don't do the normally the daydreaming something like that. Whatever I wish, I do. I plan for that, and I follow the strategy of what and how. So I should be clear with what I actually wanted to be in my career or in my personal thing, and then I started to think upon that how I should get that things over a period of time. So it gives me the clarity in my mind that how to go ahead with that approach. And that is somehow I could say that this clarity helped me to success in my career where I am today. And I have to go far with this thought and philosophy over the period of my career. And one other two aspects which I think require for the getting success in career, like you should know what to learn and what to unlearn. Because if you want to update yourself, you should know that this is what you learn over the period of time. But considering the changes into the system and to technology or in your career, you have to unlearn that and to learn the new things. So learning and unlearning is very good aspect, and I'm following that and helping me a lot. Otherwise, for coming from the finance background like chartered accountancy and this all the qualification, I could not have the mindset to go for learning SQL or Python, but I started that and I'm enjoying it. So that's what I somewhere changed my mentality, unlearn things, and now learning good things. That is what. And the last thing on the success mantra is pertaining to is like be innovative. You have to be innovative, and it reduces the burden of a monotonous things on your day-to-day job. You have to find innovative ways in your doing the same job also over the period of thing. It make your job exciting, and you could look forward for doing a new things over the period of time in your career.
Thank you for those great insights. It's, yeah, that's a lot and a lot to absorb. And now I know what makes you go where you are right now. Amazing. Amit, as you are aware, we've been building the global thought leaders community for cross-pollination of knowledge and a community of independent directors for having a better corporate governance in the country. What are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by the WDC team?
Ajuna, I could say this is really a great initiative by the WTC because this is something like, first of all, I never heard that any is being carried out anywhere, something like this initiative. And this initiative, in my view, would helping to the all such professional corporate governance expert to come together at the same platform and to share their diversified experience to take care and to have that consolidated approach that gives us a good amount of a knowledge sharing platform. And out of that, if anyone have to take care of that, any changes at the India level and could be referred and could be done as a very good repository of such knowledge on the corporate governance. So I really looking forward to have more interaction on that WTC initiative, and as well as if I could contribute or I could learn many things from that corporate governance platform such to be taken care by WTC, would be over the period of time would be a very good platform to deal with the corporate governance and to benchmark. If anyone want to do the benchmarking, can be easily approachable and can be looking forward for the very tremendous change into the corporate governance approach to be followed in India in all the companies in future.
Thank you, Amit, for your inspiring feedback. And that was a fantastic conversation with you. I'm confident that your insights will inspire the future leaders. Thank you, Amit, for joining us today. Wish you the very best for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, Arjuna. And it was really a good discussion I had, this sharing with you, this my thought and the discussion. And that's what, and thank you for your time today.
Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.